So let's go to our final presenter for this morning here, a good friend of ours and one of the inventors of the Keppe motor, Cesar Soos, has joined us today. Come on in, Cesar. Welcome. Good to see you. Cesar has a degree in mining engineering. Initially, yes, but now. But his real interest in science has always been the spiritual aspect. The aspect of energy and of spirituality in science is very interesting to him. And of course, spirituality in science is not something, as Leonard was saying, that's been well accepted. So Cesar's interest is really in helping to spread Dr. Keppe's work in this area of science, philosophy, and spirituality, this triune nature of Dr. Keppe's work. So, a great pleasure to have Cesar with us today. Cesar.
Thank you. Thank you. I am shy today because I see so many people here. I didn't expect to find so many. Well, good morning, everybody. Some of you, I think I have seen there at Cambuquira in this ICAT, but most of you I don't know, I guess. Who are here for the first time? Wow, so many. Yeah, good. Very nice. Sterling, he was saying a lot about freedom. I would just like to complement the concept of freedom, which I consider extremely important. Because I don't know if you know that, some of you are very newcomers to trilogical ideas. Dr. Keppe is a giant. He's a scientist of a giant proportion. I think if you go to his studies, you will find out for yourselves. I do not need to tell you this. But Dr. Keppe discovered in 1977 a phenomenon called inversion. That's fantastic. That alone can change the lives of each and every one of you forever if you get to learn what this is. And you know why? Because every one of us suffer from inversion. We are like sick people. We are a humanity of sick people. Why? Because we are all inverted. But this is not a clear phenomenon. It's unconscious. The worst of all is unconscious. And even if you get the genius in mankind, he is inverted. So imagine a person with great capacity, like an Aristotle, like Einstein, like Freud, like Darwin. Name them for me. Adam Smith, the creators of the civilization as we know today, they are geniuses, no doubt about it. But they are inverted. And so imagine if you have a castle of knowledge made up by geniuses all along these 2,000 and some years, based on a thing called metaphysics, which was laid down by Aristotle, a great philosopher. And Aristotle was inverted. What do you do with that? What happens to the castle? You have to reinterpret everything. You see? So I will just tell one of these inversions from Freud, for example. Freud wanted to seek the happiness. He wanted to give happiness, calmness, a good feelings for the human being through sexual life. And everyone knows that great psychopaths, they are very active sexually. Why are they not good mentally? You know? You go to the mental hospitals, you see people, they cannot stop thinking about sex and doing sex all the time. Are they happy? Are they accomplished? Not at all. So this was an inversion. Try to find happiness through sexual life, through the instincts. Let me get another example. Adam Smith, the creator of the economic system we have today. Of course, many others came after him, but all based on Adam Smith. The idea of Adam Smith is that richness, what is wealth? What is richness for Adam Smith? Money. Is it true? Can you see a Rothschild or Rockefellers or these Vanderbilts or these Carnegies or Morgans and etc. Ike Batistas, for example, are they happy because they have money, or are they happy? I don't know. I don't know their private lives, but I think you know that many of them are very unhappy, and it's not because they do not have money. So this is another inversion. And in my field, the field of physics, we have the great Einstein, isn't it? Einstein. And you know what was his mistake? His mistake was to follow Aristotle's ideas too, and he put energy dependent on matter, on particles, matter. And quantum physics follow that too, because Einstein is not only the creator of relativity, as we know, but he's also one of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics, as the people who study physics know that. So Einstein is extremely basic in this inversion of technology and physics we see today. Have you thought about this? If energy comes, how many of you know that formula? E equals mc squared, isn't it? Are you acquainted with this formula? The very basic mathematics now I'll ask you. Suppose the m is 0. How much energy you get? 0. Wow. If there is no mass, no matter, there is no energy. It's easy, right? So, where is the energy? What is the energy that hold planets in the sky, hold galaxies spiraling, hold galaxies being pushed away, always away? What is this energy? If there is no matter in the sky, there is no energy. But you have to explain why planets spin, you have to explain why galaxies spin, why galaxies move apart one from the other. So what do you create? A kind of dark matter, dark energy. Let's put in the formula dark energy to account for all that. Can you see it? No. The Nobel Prize will give for the first one who finds this dark energy. So they cannot find the dark energy, they just find some traces of it, and they say, oh, but this is not enough to explain the thing, so we have to come up with something else. What we have to create, oh, but if energy comes from matter, dark energy comes from
Dark matter.
Dark matter. Wow, Nobel Prize for the guy, you know. And so we are attached to this inverted way of thinking. We are not free. So inversion leads to prison. We are not free at all in this society. We are slaves of an evil economy. We are slaves of an evil technology, because the more the technology advances, develops, the worse we get. Isn't it true? If you get a cell phone, wow, a smartphone is said to be the best invention of all times, the smartphones. They fry your brains. What kind of invention is that fries your brains, you know, because it uses inverted technology. And the more we go like this nanotechnology, the things get worse and worse. Why nanotechnology? You say, no, you have no right to say that. Nanotechnology is great, it's fantastic. Okay, I admit, the same way you say Einstein was a genius, I can say to you, yes, nanotechnology is a great achievement of the human mind, but inverted again. And why that? Because when you get a problem in your heart, from now on, imagine that, from now on, from this time on the future, pointing to the future, if you have a problem in your liver, if you have a problem in your heart, what will you do? You will never ask yourselves why your heart is aching, why your heart is sick. You will ask yourselves, do I have money or a 3D printing to print an organ to replace? Isn't it? Yeah. So you never go to the cause of the problem. So we are sick because we do not want to deal with the causes of the problems. We are sick because we do not want to see our inversion. And overall, that's the problem of humanity today. And so I would like, you see, when you turn on the television, you see many movies like this, The Secret, What the Bit Do We Know? What do these movies they say? They are fantastic. Wow, they give me a clue on how I have to think to be happy. But what is the basic problem of these movies? The same way that Faraday considered, Michael Faraday was a scientist, he created the concept of field, force field. So if you have a particle, you have a force field. But for Faraday, the force field comes from the particle, from the matter, right? So today, when they put these movies, they say that your brain is like a particle. Your brain creates a force field. So it puts you like a god. You feel like a god. And so you say, okay, I will keep thinking here that if I keep thinking, I will have $1 million. I will have $1 million. I will have $1 million. You keep thinking, the money will fly to you. You know, this is crazy. And why? If you go to mental hospitals, again, I like to quote mental hospitals because that's the extreme. And we all have some of that extreme. Mental hospitals, people, they see themselves as gods. They are so arrogant. They think only what they say, what they believe is true. You know? And so I can tell you this. The idea is that we are not the creators of life. We are just elements in nature that are in tune with a greater force. And if you want to be happy, you have to be in tune, in synchronicity with this force. And so I brought a very simple experiment, physics experiment, to show you this. Because what happens to this experiment is exactly what happens to us. I think you haven't seen that yet.
No?
I devised the Keppe motor based on this experiment. It's a very simple thing. Oh, I need to hold this. How many of you are acquainted with this idea, with this pendulum thing? Okay? Let's see how free we are. Oh, just to hold the microphone. Imagine we are people like this. These are pendulums, right? Suppose one of these pendulums, these pendulums, they are like people. They communicate. But some of the people are not able to grasp what the others think. Why? Because they are not in the same level of synchronicity, of resonance. So look at this. One experiment explains more than 1,000 words. If I do this, look the phenomenon that starts to happen. Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? The one that is exactly the same as the other is receiving the energy of the first. And this will stop. And that will be in a maximum oscillation. And then it transfers back again to this. That stops. And then this starts stopping and the other one starts moving. And the others don't feel. You see, we are human beings, we act exactly like that. The critical mass Sterling was talking about is this. We are only free when we are in tune, because these two, they are greater, they have more money. You see, they have more money, but they are close, they are not free because they are not in tune with reality. Look, reality is the energy that moves everything.
And Cesar, that's why it only takes 3 or 5% to lead a revolution.
Yeah, because it's only the ones who are in tune with the essential energy. Because the energy doesn't come from this pendulum, it comes from who? From something else, from God, from the force field of the universe, right? So that's the message I would like to give to you. We are only free when we are conscious of our pathology, because when we are pathological, we do not get energy. We do not express our beings to the other beings. So that's the way the powerful people in power, they control us through our brainwash, through the inversion. And to control people through the inversion is very easy. For example, when you get sick, you run to the pharmacy to get medication because you think energy comes from matter. You think health comes from pills. So, Jesus Christ, that's too much. We are slaves of inverted thinking. We are not free at all. And the work of Dr. Roberto Keppe is exactly that, and fundamental and unique. I say unique. Why? Because our problem is inversion. It had to come a scientist upon this planet to say we are all crazy and show why. Dr. Keppe is the man. I tell you this. I'm sorry to say, but it is the man. It is. Luckily, I thank God, the universe, that a man like him came to show us this. You know, the same way prophets come along the story, scientists also come along the story to show us truths, essential truths we need to know. Isn't it? Just another inversion for you to have in mind. How many people are in the hospitals now suffering, and they believe that after they die, everything vanishes into nothing? They they don't know where they go, so they start to suffer, they feel bad. Because of an inverted science that says, if energy comes from matter, the soul comes from the body. The body dies, the soul disappears. Imagine you are going to die and your soul disappears. What did I do of my life? My life was worth nothing. There's no sense, everything will disappear. But now we have discomfort. We have discomfort. Have you thought about it? If you are in your deathbed and you are going to die, you have the hope that energy makes matter. If your body dies, energy continues to exist. Your consciousness continues to exist. Well, that's the message I wanted to give to you. I'm very grateful for your attention. Thank you.
Excellent, as always.
Thank you, Alicia.
Inversion is the thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
Sorry, can you talk about a little bit of
your invention.
Oh, yeah.
and you're showing people
Now comes the time to look at
here,
this.
Roberto.
Great. Yeah, come and talk.
For the first time in Millennial, they have no idea what is it.
Okay.
Ah,
this is
they have
important.
no idea
Come
about
on,
the Keppe
Silvano.
motor. Was I supposed to speak about the motor today?
Silvano's here now. This is Roberto Silvano, another one of our great teachers at Millennium.
Well, this is something developed by Cesar because he was talking about energy, this inverted energy. And this is a proof
Beautiful of that. It's made by the people in Cambuquira. It's a social project we have in Cambuquira. And the idea is to take this technology to the world and not let it be controlled by corporations. This technology is based on this pendulum principle. It's based on resonance.
Okay, I want to ask you, have you seen before a fan building wood?
No.
What would happen if we would build a fan in wood, in the regular motor?
It becomes firewood.
It becomes firewood. It would be something to warm us, not to cool us. But this one, so why this fan works without burning? Gas. Who knows?
I know.
I think it's better Cesar's plan. No, you can do. But he's the inventor. Well, when he invited me to work with him, we opened a small factory in Cambuquira. He said, come to me, Roberto, because he know me since
The times we played billiards at the Praça da Sé, right?
yes, long time ago. And he know that I'm a good hand. I have the skills with the hands. And he invited me to, let's open a factory of fans. I said, what? I'm a teacher. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? But I was, are you inverted to invite a person that teaches to build a factory with you? But it was a great pleasure. I was very surprised with this technology. For me, since I saw the motor, and when Cesar explained to me the motor, I was very enthusiastic. Because the first thing he showed me, look, Roberto, this motor, it doesn't heat, so it doesn't get warm. Because the mechanism of this motor is totally different. The regular motor invented by Tesla or others, Edison, it works in a way, how to explain? It's like yes or no. The motor yes or no. Because when the motor runs, it has a system, alternate system, that has a very complicated way, a positive and negative, to make the motor run. So, and when it runs, it gets like totally warm, because one force it's pushing ahead the motor, and the other force is like holding the motor. And when he showed this motor, it works totally free. It doesn't have this system. So when he plugged the motor, there is no, it's only yes, right? Yeah. So, and it's, I don't know if we do a bingo today here, because I think maybe we do an action. Who pay more for this? What do you think? An auction. Sorry, my English is not so good. What? Leilão. Auction. Okay, we can do an auction, and we can start with 1,000. Okay. You pay. Already 1,000 here.
Do I hear 1,000?
1,200 here. Okay. 300 here. Okay, so and so this is amazed because, and also, it's like the human being. Us, we have the wrong dialectic. We are also running our lives with this inverted idea that we have to introduce no in our lives. So we say no or yes, and then we hit up also. Okay? So our way to be cool is only to say yes. But the yes, it has to be, of course, Dr. Keppe, when talks about dialectics, he says the yes has to be to good, truth, and beauty. And when we introduce other elements, we created this wrong dialectic. So this motor, is the essential energy, takes the essential energy. That's why also saves a lot of energy. With this fan running 24 hours a day, guess how much you pay in your bill? Monthly. It's one real 37 cents. And
That we understand.
yeah.
We don't understand E equals MC squared.
No.
That we understand.
That you understand. And also, when you use this fan, it has the benefit of the magnetism. You have heard about magnetotherapy, right? And the regular magnetotherapy, it works with the magnets, but not running. It's static. Thank you, teacher. Static. And this, it runs so. when you run this motor also is something that doesn't harm the environment or doesn't interfere in like electricity does. You know, you can live under cables of electricity. It creates cancer. You know that? Did you know about this? Yeah, these heavy cables that they high tension. You can live under these high tension cables because it produces cancer. So the electricity, it's a stop. As we use electricity, we stop the magnetism. That's why they advise you when you sleep, turn off the cell phone, turn off the devices you have, because electricity harms the person. And this is totally free from electricity. It uses only just a little bit to give the pulse to the motor. So it's pulse and resonance motor, totally different. I don't know. You think you want to explain something better than that? No, it's okay.
I'm learning.
You know? Yes. Okay, Alan, you can tell something about the motors.
I wanted to talk about the health aspects of the motor. Last time I was here in January, they gifted me one of these and I took it home. And my son, from the time he was a little kid, would sleep with a motor, or with a fan next to his bed. He likes the white noise, the breeze, I guess. Maybe he wants to live by the ocean someday. But anyway, we put this Keppe fan by his bed. But before this, my son had really bad migraine headaches.
And Keppe, right?
Yeah. And like once, twice a month, it was so bad he could not function. He'd have to lay down, couldn't go to school. And maybe once or twice a week he would get a really bad migraine headache. But after putting the Keppe fan by his bed when he sleeps, migraine's almost completely gone. Once in a while he'll get a small one, but has not been incapacitated where he can't function. And so rather than harming health for my son, this has been beneficial to his health.
But I want you to talk about your cat,
Yeah.
the cat of yours.
What
happened?
Cats normally they do not like fans, right?
Yeah. The cat will. I can't remember exactly. It seems like before you turn the fan on, the cat goes. And now with this fan, the cat comes around, no problem. So.
And I have, it's very funny that because I brought a fan to my wife's sister. And then when I brought the fan there, also she has a lot of cats. She loves cats. And at the minute that we start the motor, the cats come and they lay on the side of the fan. You see? It's very interesting because cats, they are very sensitive towards energy. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to ask a question, Cesar, because many people think that everything that we learn comes from the brain, from the mind, from the intellect. Could you just speak a little bit more about that moment or moments of insight that led to the experiment that you did that led to the Keppe motor? Was it something you were reading in a book and the brain told you, oh yes? How did it happen?
You're going to tell the secret? This is, you think in public?
You see, that's the
Only for those that buy a fan, you can tell the
value of...
I want to talk about this.
Okay. The value of work, of effort, is exactly that. If you do not make any effort, your talent doesn't show. And everyone here is talented for at least one thing. All of you are geniuses in potential. You are sleeping. But everyone is a genius here. He could perform miracles. The problem is that we are inverted and we do not have consciousness of our inversion. That's the problem. The one who catch a glimpse of it, wow, makes a thing. That's the point. When I actually did this for the first time, I built up a little model. And it came up, I was working on this months, studying regular motors. I went to Faraday, Michael Faraday's first motor, Dobrovolsky, Tesla, Siemens, all of those guys who put some effort on a motor. And then I tried to apply Dr. Keppe's concepts, and I went to bed every day thinking, Jesus Christ, how can I apply Dr. Keppe's new physics to this? Because I could see, but not so clear what was wrong, you know? Because before Tesla, who created the alternate current, there was Thomas Edison who used DC current, corrente continua, né? And so I said, but both of them are unidirectional. Even Tesla's current, AC current, is unidirectional. Why? Because Tesla's motor, which is said to be alternate current, is not alternate. Why is not alternate? Because you are pushing the rotor all the time. I mean, pulling the rotor all the time. You don't stop pulling. What would be a real alternate current? The real one. The real one is pulsating current because it's the same vibration of the heart. The heart is the best oscillatory and resonant machine in the world, is the heart. Energy. When you picture the heart of a good person is full of energy. Energy comes from a heart. And then another idea that came to my mind is that the pulsar is a special kind of quasar in the sky. The pulsar is a resonant star, a resonant. It pulses. And is said to be one of the most energetic objects in the entire universe is a pulsar. So I kept thinking, well, but if a pulsar is the highest energy comes from a pulsar, and then the heart, the goodness, is pulsating too, a machine should use the same kind of principle to pulse. And then one night, this I'll tell you for you. Well, I told him to. One night I woke up at 2:30, 3 o'clock at night, after thinking a lot. I sat on my bed, and my mind was completely loose, and then I swear to you, I heard a voice. I don't know who said it, but he said it in English. I heard in English. So,
Thank God for Millennium.
thank God for Millennial, yeah. Maybe it was you.
Maybe it was me. I don't think so, but yeah.
You know the phrase that I heard, it was like this, tripulse. 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 And then everything made sense. And I tell you, imagine a swing, that you have a child on a swing. You are in a park, and you start to push the person. The person goes slow, and then this oscillation increases, and the quantity of effort I put into the motion, it starts to diminish. The oscillation increases, and the amount of energy diminishes, right? So you have what? The best efficiency. The best efficiency of our oscillatory system is resonance. It's because I just do click and click. Other motors don't do like that. Do you know how the motors do? They take the string and they do this. This is the analogy. All motors in the market do this. So now I tell you, what is more economic, to go up the stairs and come down the stairs walking, or go up the stairs and come sliding by the handrail? Sliding by the handrail. So that's what the Keppe motor does. It uses the external field to help its motion in resonance. Okay?
And
Simple, isn't it? Simple.
okay, so this is part of also a project, is a social project in Cambuquira, and people that are building these fans right now, they didn't know about nothing about motors. So it's so simple, the technology, that Cesar was able to teach these people that they didn't have any skill, electrical or any kind of skill, mechanical, and they are building these fans there. So, what the proposal today here for you is that you could buy this fan. And if you save this fan in your life, in future,
Before you're selling the fan,
Okay.
can I tell them a therapeutic function of
Okay,
the fan?
sure.
Then you can
Yes.
increase the price.
okay,
Okay? Sorry. This is a glass of water, right? With water inside. Suppose you put the water here, about 20 centimeters in this direction, 45 degrees in angle with this here, exactly at this position. I'll tell you now one secret. And Frederick, he can correct me if I say some data not appropriate. But there is a field of study called radionics. Radionics is the study of microvibrations emitted by objects. It's not normally captured by regular instruments. You have to have special instruments to measure this. Okay, the unit to measure microvibration is called Bovis unit. BU, Bovis unit. Bovis is the name of the scientist who developed this first. So, okay, if you are a healthy person, in a scale, your body goes from 6,000 Bovis units to 10,000. That's the healthy body. According to data Frederick passed to me, isn't it? Okay, if you are going to get cancer, for example, if you are almost about to have a lethal disease, your vibration goes down to 4,500. Okay? At that point, you are almost going to die. If you go to Lourdes, the fountain, that fountain where supposedly Our Lady appeared, and you have blessed water. If you take the blessed water from a fountain, these microvibrations is 27,000. Look at the difference, 27,000 vibration. Of course, there are other phenomena involved. I'm not saying that just the motor will cure. That's not the purpose, okay? But if you put this water here, and the regular water is 6,500. 6,500 if you measure this, okay? If you turn on the motor here, after 3 hours, this is 10,000, and after 6 hours is 13,000. Newton Burmeister, an experimenter in Rio de Janeiro, made some other experiments with a motor similar to that. After one complete day, it went up to 24,000. One day, 24,000. So it really magnetizes the water. And how do I know? Through other experiments. We have a friend, Alex Frascari, he developed the circuits of the motor. He made some experiments with Kirlian machines. You know that Kirlian machines, they measure the aura of things? Yeah. He went to Russia and he bought the best machine there in Russia. And he measured the water before the motor and after the exposure to the motor. Before the motor, the water was still. The energy pattern was still. After some time, the energetic pattern of the water was pulsing exactly in the same frequency of the motor. It was pulsing. So it has this property of magnetizing the water. So we started to build up little devices using this. We started a field of study in therapy. Okay? But then we had the problem with Anvisa. Anvisa here They are like these powerful controllers like FDA in the United States that killed and put in jail many of the scientists who started to study this phenomena in the beginning of the 20th century. And so we are letting things disinvert a little bit, but the studies will never stop. But for these products to go to the market, we have to have like a bunch of experiments, okay?
Yeah. Well, can I have a more 10 minutes? No. No? Okay. 5?
Só funcionava eles.
Yes. So, okay. We have these 2 speeds in this fan. You see that it works very good, silent, okay? Solid, yes. And this, in future, it will be so expensive as the gloves of Michael Jackson. Okay? Because this is the first technology. Of course, this very soon will be industrialized, and then you are going to lose the opportunity to have this. Okay? Okay. 1 minute. If you want, what? I can? Okay. So just 5 minutes more is. I have more time?
Just the Americans are...
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing that I can tell you also, that you have the same energy in yourself. Do you know that? You have seen people that take care of plants, and the plants grow very beautiful. Green? Green thumb. Dedo verde. Okay. So, what Cesar is telling you also, that this is not that the energy of this fan will transform. It depends on the person's life, attitude also, okay? So this fan, if you want to buy, today I have only 5. But I have how many more in Cambuquira? We still have 35. So if you want, you can command with us. The price will be a special price today? 290? That's the price. And you can split in 2 payments, okay? If you want, you talk with me downstairs. Can you understand me? Yes? It's fine? Okay. Talking only about saving energy, do you know, we have an engineer that works with us, Cesar Agarelli. Today he's not here. He made the calculations. If all the fan tables of Brazil would change to this motor, we could stop 1 plant of Foz do Iguaçu for Itaipu for 3 months, Cesar, right?
No, you would stop 1 turbine.
1 turbine.
Itaipu for 2 months.
2 months.
Just these table
Just
fans.
change these table fans. In average, this fan uses 22 watts, right?
Now it's 18 with the new circuit.
With the 18 watts, a regular fan to produce this speed and this work of the motor would use 48, 52. If you buy the fans in the market, look at under, you're going to see that there is a mark or the numbers, how much is the consume, how much the fan consume, okay?
Yeah.
So we have these colors and a wood color, okay? Is anything else you want to know about this fan? No?
And also to complete that this fan, when you buy it, this money is reverting to the project. It's important for you to know. We are supporting this project in Cambuquira through the Stop the Destruction of the World Association. We had huge offers for the patent of this motor. The patent of this motor belongs to the association, STOP. And STOP didn't sell this because the idea of it is to use it for the people, to get it to the people. That's the idea, the main idea. So we started this project in Cambuquira, and we are looking for partnerships that undergoes the rules of STOP. Because some companies, they want to buy it to keep it in the drawer. They say, okay, now this is mine, let's keep it. But that's not the purpose, our purpose, okay? So when you buy it, you have this consciousness, you are helping us there in the project, helping the people there, the Brazilian people.
Oh,
right? Okay.
Helping ourselves. And also one thing, because the motor doesn't heat, when you turn on the fan, you have always this fresh,
cool air
coming from the fan. Different from the regular ones, because the regular ones, they go up to 72 degrees Celsius.
A fan one goes to 70 degrees, yeah.
Okay.
And this works in room temperature.
Room temperature.
Temperatura ambiente. Room
Okay.
temperature.
Who wants to buy today, just to check? One for you. Here. So I'll get your names, okay?
I thank you, okay?
What's your
Thank you
name?
very much, sir.
Cristina, okay. Márcia, good. Sorry? Fabiano.
And also, you...
Fabien, como français? Tu parles français? Ah, ok. To be. Who? What's your name? Anderson, like my brother.
And also, I tell you one thing, buying this fan, you have full guarantee because
Just
this is
one
a-
more. Who wants the... Luis. 290, and I'll make for you today, splitting twice. You can pay
Two payments.
two payments, £2, 2 installments. Okay?
If you pay what, have discount?
Sorry?
Pay one time, you have discount?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5 was gone. But if you want, you can
Order.
order.
Especially now that the summer is coming. And also,
Yes.
you will have as a piece of technology, new technology, STOP gives full support because we are interested in repairing them if there is a problem. If there is. But they are working out fine.
Perfect.
But if there is, we
Full
have
guarantee.
interest in studying
Yes.
what happened.
We are giving you
repair it
full
for you.
guarantee.
Full
Okay, do you know
guarantee,
what is
okay?
full guarantee, okay? So anything happen, we change, okay? Thank you very much.
Yes.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. And nice to meet you.
Wanted to seek the happiness. He wanted to give happiness, calmness, a good feelings for the human being through sexual life. And everyone knows that great psychopaths, they are very active sexually. Why are they not good mentally? You know? You go to the mental hospitals, you see people, they cannot stop thinking about sex and doing sex all the time. Are they happy? Are they accomplished? Not at all. So this was an inversion. Try to find happiness through sexual life, through the instincts. Let me get another example. Adam Smith, the creator of the economic system we have today. Of course, many others came after him, but all based on Adam Smith. The idea of Adam Smith is that richness, what is wealth? What is richness for Adam Smith? Money. Is it true? Can you see a Rothschild or Rockefellers or these Vanderbilts or these Carnegies or Morgans and etc., Ike Batistas, for example, are they happy because they have money, or are they happy? I don't know. I don't know their private lives, but I think you know that many of them are very unhappy, and it's not because they do not have money.
So let's go to our final presenter for this morning here, a good friend of ours and one of the inventors of the Keppe motor, Cesar Soos. has joined us today. Come on in, Cesar. Welcome. Good to see you. Cesar has a degree in mining engineering. Initially, yes, but now, but his real interest in science has always been the spiritual aspect. The aspect of energy and of spirituality in science is very interesting to him. And of course, spirituality in science is not something, as Leonard was saying, that's been well accepted. So Cesar's interest is really in helping to spread Dr. Keppe's work in this area of science, philosophy, and spirituality, this triune nature of Dr. Keppe's work. So, a great pleasure to have Cesar with us today. Cesar.
Thank you. Thank you. I am shy today because I see so many people here. I didn't expect to find so many. Well, good morning, everybody. Some of you, I think I have seen there at Cambuquira in this ICAT, but most of you I don't know, I guess. Who are here for the first time? Wow, so many. Yeah, good. Very nice. Sterling, he was saying a lot about freedom. I would just like to complement the concept of freedom, which I consider extremely important. Because I don't know if you know that, some of you are very newcomers to trilogical ideas. Dr. Keppe is a giant. He's a scientist of a giant proportion. I think if you go to his studies, you will find out for yourselves. I do not need to tell you this. But Dr. Keppe discovered in 1977 a phenomenon called inversion. That's fantastic. That alone can change the lives of each and every one of you forever if you get to learn what this is. And you know why? Because every one of us suffer from inversion. We are like sick people. We are a humanity of sick people. Why? Because we are all inverted. But this is not a clear phenomenon. It's unconscious. The worst of all is unconscious. And even if you get the greatest genius in mankind, he is inverted. So imagine a person with great capacity, like an Aristotle, like Einstein, like Freud, like Darwin. Name them for me. Adam Smith, the creators of the civilization as we know today, they are geniuses, no doubt about it. But they are inverted. And so imagine if you have a castle of knowledge made up by geniuses all along these 2,000 and some years, based on a thing called metaphysics, which was laid down by Aristotle, a great philosopher. And Aristotle was inverted. What do you do with that? What happens to the castle? You have to reinterpret everything. You see? So I will just tell one of these inversions from Freud, for example. Freud, so this is another inversion. And in my field, the field of physics, we have the great Einstein, isn't it? Einstein. And you know what was his mistake? His mistake was to follow Aristotle's ideas too, and he put energy dependent on matter, on particles, matter. And quantum physics follow that too. Because Einstein is not only the creator of relativity, as we know, but he's also one of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics, as the people who study physics know that. So Einstein is extremely basic in this inversion of technology and physics we see today. Have you thought about this? If energy comes, how many of you know that formula? E equals mc squared, isn't it? Are you acquainted with this formula? The very, 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 very basic mathematics now I'll ask you. Suppose the n is 0. How much energy you get? 0. Wow.